Right, so also I think it's worth giving some examples of situations where Christianity has been racist in the past and situations where we could argue uh, like for prejudice and for discrimination. So I'm going to go through that now. So there has been a racist history. There was a Ku Klux Klan. These are people who used to wear these big white hats like this, and they used to burn. They used to lynch black people and people of other races and other faiths. So they used to go around intimidating other people. My grandparents are American, and they once brought a black friend with them to a church, and what happened to them was the Ku Klux Klan put burning crosses outside of their house, saying, "Don't bring a black person to our church again." So Christianity has had a racist history through people like the Ku Klux Klan, um, who were just basically just disgusting. But they used the Bible to try to justify their actions. Another example is that Christianity in the past has, within the Bible, slavery is discussed, and they've believed that some people can be treated as slaves, and Christianity has used that as a justification for having slaves from people of different countries and for slavery as a practice in itself, which obviously today is seen to be absolutely abysmal. Um, Now, arguments for prejudice. Okay, so one point that can be said is prejudice is something that's natural. We do notice when someone has a different gender, has a different race, and all those different things. And we tend to make a prejudgment about a person the first time that we meet them. We tend to judge them by their clothes, by their height, by the way they walk. If I see a tall person, I will presume that they are athletic. If I see a person who wears a suit, I'll presume that they are well off and rich. If I see a person wearing baggy clothes, I might presume that they are poor. So prejudice, prejudgment about a person is quite a natural thing. And you can take something, I'll put a little link below, to the Harvard Implicit Association test that shows how, if someone has prejudgments about someone for their race or their gender, these things do happen quite naturally, and it's not necessarily a person's fault. If they're fed negative information by the media about a certain race or a certain group or a certain gender or a certain religion, they will often have these prejudgments. And the question is not necessarily people shouldn't be prejudiced, it's saying people need to try and make an effort to mix with other races and religions and other genders and other sexualities so that their prejudice is overcome. So to understand that prejudice is a natural thing is something that you could discuss at an A-star level. It might be your last sentence on a 6-mark question. Another point is positive discrimination. So, we live in a society where women, for example, have less leadership positions than men. There are less female bosses. So maybe we need to make an effort to ensure that more women get opportunities to become bosses, or we need to have a quota within a job description to make sure that we have more female leaders in our workplace, or more Asian leaders, or more black leaders, or more white leaders if it's relevant in our workplace. So positive discrimination is something that could be something that happens in society, being aware that discriminations happen as a result of subtle prejudices or inequalities of the past, and to make up for that, we need to have positive discrimination to balance the playing field. So these could be arguments that could be used for prejudice or a positive example of discrimination. It doesn't mean that prejudice and discrimination are wrong, but it does mean that there are reasons why prejudice and discrimination happen and how they should be addressed.